back to my channel. This is Jennifer. I'm here on YouTube, Instagram, Threads as Little Paper Bear Co., or you can just look for Jennifer Spence. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to my channel and you found me, this is Flosstube number 3. I started my Flosstube in January with my whip parade. If you have come back, thank you so much for coming back. If you aren't subscribed, please consider subscribing just to stay up to date with my stitching and anything else that I have going on. And if you don't mind, give this video a like. I wanted to start out just by saying thank you again for everyone that's left kind comments since my last video. It's been a few weeks. I'm really thankful for everybody's kindness, suggestions, tips, everything like that. I also wanted to start out the video on the front end with something that I've been talking about in my last Flosstube and then also like on my Instagram and things like that. And that is me hosting Zoom virtual like sit and stitches. I had a lot of people, if you haven't kind of caught my last videos, reach out to me after my first Flosstube that were like, where are you located? I'd love to get together. You know, I live in Texas. So there's a lot, Texas is big. There's a lot of people in Texas that reached out that were like, where are you? And unfortunately, I'm not near anyone. We're in kind of the middle of nowhere. But I had people that were like, oh, would you want to do a virtual stitch? I kind of polled the community in my last video and said, hey, would you be interested in doing a virtual Zoom stitch where we just sit and stitch, you know, get to know people? And this would be a great opportunity for people that don't have local stitchy friends to just chat with others, maybe make new friends, maybe make new meetup friends, and just enjoy some stitching time with like-minded people that love to stitch and talk about stitching. So I got enough feedback from that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I did want to start this video with that update. So I have decided that I am going to host Zoom sit and stitches. As the name says, they'll be hosted on Zoom and I will host them. If you've never been on Zoom before, it's fairly easy. You do need to have a phone or a computer or tablet or something like that where you can access Zoom. And I think the best way, if you're not familiar with Zoom, is probably just to look it up yourself. If you need some help, let me know and I can provide some kind of links to some guidelines and things of how to use Zoom. But it's pretty easy, especially since, you know, the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of people were using Zoom or other platforms like that to communicate and do their jobs and things like that. So I feel like it's fairly common these days. And I also had a lot of thought given to how I would make the information about the stitch-alongs available. So first and foremost, I have already set the date for the first Zoom stitch that I'm going to host. And let me just double check my calendar. I have it set for Saturday, March 22nd. So that's about 2 weeks from now. And that's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time, since I'm in Texas. I kind of have that window so that you can stop in or come in whenever you want, leave whenever you want, that sort of thing. And when I was considering, well, how do I make the information available to everyone to join the Zoom stitch? And I knew I couldn't really put it on YouTube. I couldn't put it in the comments or the descriptions or things like that because I didn't want trolls or bots or just random people latching onto that Zoom invitation and potentially gaining access to the meeting, because that does happen. And then I had some people say, well, could you just gather a list of interested people and email them? And yes, I could. My biggest concern with that was that there's a lot of troubleshooting that goes with email, which sounds silly, but there's always issues of people not getting the email, people having server issues, emails that don't get delivered until a certain time of day or later, or getting stuck, or sent to their spam folder, etc. And I didn't want to have to run into the issue of troubleshooting people if they didn't get an email with the Zoom link and whatnot. Um, so, what I've decided to do, and hopefully this will be received well, is I have decided to set up, and I've already done it, I've set up a Patreon account. If you aren't familiar with Patreon, Patreon essentially is a platform where you can set yourself up as a creator or just a member, and you can basically provide content or subscriptions to people. So there are a lot of stitchers out there, designers out there, like Teresa Kogut, for example, has a Patreon account where you can subscribe to her, and you can either freely subscribe or you can pay for varying tiers of subscription membership to gain certain things. So like I used to be a member of her Patreon where I paid monthly to get a certain number of charts from her. With Patreon, it doesn't have to be paid. So I've set myself up as a creator on Patreon, and that's where I'm going to be providing the information and links to get into the Zoom stitches. It is completely free to you. The only thing that you would have to do is set up your own Patreon account. And I will link my Patreon in the description below so that it's easy to find. And once you sign up and, subscribe to me or become a member to my Patreon, you will have access to that link. I've already actually posted it. And the reason I did this is because that gives you one place that you can find that information. You don't have to go back through an email or go back to YouTube or whatever to find, how do I get on the Zoom link today? So you would just go into Patreon. You can use it on your web version browser, or you can download the Patreon app. As I mentioned, I started out as a Patreon member, and I've subscribed to lots of different cross-stitch designers. Some of them I'm just like a free subscriber where they put out different content. Some of them I do pay to get, charts and different content and things like that. And it's obviously not just for stitchers. It's for really anybody that wants to do that. So it's really interesting. If you haven't checked it out, you can definitely find some good stuff on there and some designers you're probably already very familiar with. And again, hopefully everyone will be okay with, I have to now set up a Patreon account. It's really just for my peace of mind that people can get the information easily, that it's going to be safer for people because you're actually having to seek out how to join the Stitchy Zoom group. And then that way, again, you can just log in the day before, the day of. I'll probably post the links at least a week out so that it's out there. And it does also send you an email once you're subscribed so that you would have it there as well. But that would save me from having to monitor email for people that had issues or whatnot. And I think it'll just be really easy. So again, completely free to you, other than that you have to have a Patreon account. So you would have to sign up with your email and have an account. But again, I encourage you to do so and then check out the other awesome cross-stitch designers and people that have content on there. You may see a button that says upgrade or whatnot. There is a paid option on my page. It's like $3 a month just to support. And there's some benefits there. It is completely not necessary for you to do that to receive anything unless you want to. And you can read more about that if you're interested. It's mostly for my family and close friends and things to support me. But feel free to look at that if you like. But again, there is no cost involved for you to join the stitches that I'm going to host. So I know that's a lot of information at once. The other thing that's good about Patreon is that, say right now I have the link posted. You could come back later and start a conversation there if you want to follow up on things that maybe we talked about during the Zoom. Maybe you were like, hey, someone was working on this pattern during that Zoom stitch. Does anybody remember what it was? Everyone would have kind of a forum to talk about it at that point too. Whereas once you exit a Zoom meeting, you no longer have that ability. So I thought that would be fun too, because then we would have a place to talk after the fact if needed. So I liked that idea as well. And I talked to a lot of different people that thought thought that this was a good idea. So hopefully you guys will be okay with it as well, and it's well received. I don't think it'll be too cumbersome. So that's where that is. Again, I'm going to put the link to my Patreon below if you would like to sign up for the Patreon, subscribe to me, and then have access to the Zoom link for the stitch that I've set up. I'm hoping to do Zoom stitches twice a month. It's really just going to depend on my schedule with my kiddos and my husband works and things like that. So when I have time to set aside where I won't be hearing mommy all the time while we're stitching. But again, that first one is Saturday, March 22nd. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's Central Time. And I will try to vary those. I'll probably put some polls out and things like that to see what kind of works best. Maybe we just vary them a few times so that different people can join and whatnot. And for this first one, I just really see it being casual. Just come in if you'd like, sit and stitch, chat with people. Futuristically, I was thinking it might be fun to do kind of like themes, like, hey, bring your stitch and talk about your favorite movie or book, or, you know, what are you stitching right now? Maybe do a stitch with an animal, or I don't know, whatever it is. It's really going to be casual and just a way for me and others to meet people. So hopefully people show up. So if you want to stitch and meet some stitchy people, please come join so I'm not on an empty Zoom call by myself. And we'll see how it goes. If I have enough interest, I will keep it going. If not, I might do it just occasionally. But hopefully it'll be something that can be kind of ongoing so that, you know, people have a chance to get together virtually. Because again, I don't have anybody local to me or friends local to me that stitch. So it's nice to hopefully chat with some people that do. Okay. So again, I'll link that information below, but feel free to comment if you have a question, or you can reach out to me via my email as well. And yeah, so let's move on to the next thing. And I'm going to try and figure out how to do timestamps on YouTube. If I can figure that out, I'll put timestamps so you can skip around to wherever you might need, because you might not be interested in Zoom stitching. So if you aren't, just fast forward. A little bit of life update in the last few weeks. My family's just been still getting over sicknesses and things like that. Let's see, we're into March already. Oh my goodness, how did that happen? Just lots of sicknesses. My son is hopefully going to go back to preschool in the next month or so. So I've been kind of looking into that and getting that stuff sorted. Just dealing with the state of the world. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention on the Zoom stitches. There's not like a lot of rules or anything. I do want to ask that our conversations stay kind, stay polite, of course. And then I also would like to kindly ask that we stay away from like political talk. For me, I'm not interested in talking about it or hearing about it. I have very strong opinions about the state of the world right now, and I really want this to be a place where we can kind of escape and just have fun versus getting into topics that could cause some strife and just negativity, just because people have different opinions. So I would ask that we just keep conversations kind, and let's stay away from some of those topics, such as politics. So thank you. Anyways, life updates. There's not really been much going on. I took my kids to the zoo, which was lovely. We've had some, kind of warm weather and then cold weather. It's still in that weird shoulder season. It's very gloomy and rainy here this weekend. It is, what is today? Sunday, March 9th. So yeah, not a lot going on with me that I can think of. So let's get to stitching. I do have some finishes. I have some starts, and I of course have some whips. I didn't touch all my whips just because we were still dealing with just a lot of sickness that seemed to just go in circles. When one of us would end it, the other one would get it again. So that's just been how it's gone. But I will start with my finishes. And I did make my own little board. Someone suggested to get like a canvas and then just put batting on it. So I got a canvas at Joann's on one of my Goodbye Joann's shopping hauls, and I just glued some batting on there, and it's not pretty or anything, but it does the job. So my first finish is A Mother Is by Primrose Cottage, and this is a stitch I obviously did for my mother. This was stitched on 25 count potato, and it was stitched in all the called for colors, which was Classic Colorworks, except that I added the blue in place of some of the yellow, and that blue is Classic Colorworks Mint Julep. I also switched up like where some of those colors are. So like this spool and thread, this wasn't supposed to be blue, it's supposed to be, I think, white. But the white doesn't show super great on the potato. The only other thing that I didn't do is in like the middle of all the big text are some spaces that were supposed to be stitched with white. And excuse my one unpainted pointer fingernails. Just ignore that. I didn't stitch the white in between those letters. And that was just literally because I didn't think it would add that much to it, because the white wasn't super prevalent on this fabric. And then honestly, I was kind of done at this point. I was like, okay, I'm done. But it's really pretty. My mom knows, she's seen it. She knows she's getting it. I am planning on finishing it like on a board and then attaching it to a crate or a basket, the front of something that I can then put stuff in. So like giving her a gift of like a basket and then filling it with Mother's Day gifts. I'm not sure what all that will entail, but when I do fully finish it, I will of course share it before I give it to her. As if you've watched my first Flosstube, I mentioned that she was diagnosed with cancer last fall. She actually gets to go home soon. So she's only been home one time in about the last 6 months. Because she's had to live within 30 minutes. I don't know why I did air quotes. She's had to live within 30 minutes of the hospital where she's seeking treatment and the clinics and things like that. So that's about 2.5 hours from her house. So she gets to go home soon, if all goes well. So that's really exciting. So I figured I'll make her a nice Mother's Day homecoming basket or crate or whatever filled with goodies and things like that. So that's really exciting. I'm excited to have that one out of my whip pile. Not that I didn't love it and enjoy it, but I was kind of done. I was kind of done with it. I'm not sure why. I just kind of got over so much text, I think. The other finish, sorry, I'm distracted. There's lots of birds outside my window I'm looking at. The other finish I have is this quick, it was basically kind of a start and finish within pretty much 24 hours. But this I saw shared on, I think, maybe Evertote's Instagram story, I think. And this is just the Ukrainian heart. It was a freebie pattern by Sterling Stitches that you can go download, and I will try to link all of the charts and things that I mentioned below. So I wanted to just wanted to do something that was like, yes, I feel this way. I stand with Ukraine. So I quickly stitched this, and this I actually stitched on 14 count. I think it was like smoky white Aida or something like that. It was one of those very inexpensive Aidas that you get in the little packages from like Joann's or Hobby Lobby or whatnot that I'd had for years. And this was the first time I stitched Aida in a few years. I wanted to see if I liked it, if like going back to it, would I like it again? Because I do want to stitch on all fabrics. I don't want to just stitch on Lugana or linen. I want to try everything. And it was actually kind of hard to not skip a hole. I don't know why, or it was hard for me to find the hole. And it was really kind of a much more stiffer, crunchy fabric, but it was okay. I didn't mind it. It's a really easy stitch. It's 3 colors and it's pretty simple. It's just using, there's like 3 DMC that it called for. I didn't have the blue DMC that the pattern called for, so I just did one color like above it. So that's fun. I'm not sure what I'll do with this. I may just make it into a little board or something. But that was fun, and that was kind of just a fun little project that I could stitch up quickly, something different, whatnot. So my other finish, and let's see, my last finish is also technically a start this month. Let's see if I can get the big one. It's my hands-on design Year of Celebration Season 2 that I've been stitching on. I started it last year in April, so I started kind of weirdly in the forefront of the year. So now I'm working to finish it this year. So I did start and finish March. And I'm a little disappointed on the 4-leaf clovers or shamrocks in the pot or the cauldron or whatever you want to call it. They don't stand out as much as I would like. I kept thinking, well, maybe it's just because I haven't stitched them all. Well, maybe it's just because I haven't stitched them all yet. And then I finished them and I was like, that wasn't it. So I'm not sure, but I'm just going to let it be. It's fine. I don't mind it. I'm happy with it. I, again, am stitching on, I think it's 25 count Prim Lugana, and I'm stitching using Kimberly's floss conversion from Fat Quarter Shop. So like the green and the shamrocks in the cauldron, I think that was like little sprout, and the cauldron itself was baking tin. So like I'm happy with most of it. Let me see if I can get closer. I did like all the clovers vining up and the flowers and things like that. So my favorite is still April, which was the rabbits. So I am putting this away until probably mid-June, whenever I feel like starting the next block that I need to do, which is July. And I do still need to do the rest of the border. So there's this, I have it stitched in like this aqua mint julep color. I need to finish that border for the other 6 months and bring that down. But I'm halfway there, so that's really, really exciting. So I'm super excited to get this done this year and have it framed. So I need to finish the border, but I am going to put this aside for now and pick it back up in the summertime so that I can work on some other things. But these stitch up super fast. And I'm stitching it obviously as one piece, but you can stitch them all individually. And they're really, really quick to stitch. I think I did March in like 2 days. And that's really pretty much, I think all of them have been like 2 days or something, depending on how fast and how much you stitch. For me, that's pretty fast because I'm not the fastest stitcher. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And it's done. And now I get to put that away and do some other focuses or other starts or things like that. Okay, let's see what is next. Okay, my most recent start. I think I said I wasn't going to start anything. Well, that didn't happen. So I'm a member of the Primrose Cottage Facebook group. And I started Spring Quaker. Fun story about this. One, I never thought I was going to do this stitch. Because one, I don't like the purple. I like purple just fine, but this didn't sing to me. Until on the Facebook group, someone posted their Spring Quaker start. And her name was Kim. If you're a member of the group, you've probably seen it. She did it in Color and Cotton thread, and the color is called Confetti. And it is a limited edition, like rainbow color. I was like, oh, I have to do that. I love it. Lo and behold, I didn't realize that Confetti was a limited edition color and you can't buy it anymore. Surprise, surprise. I'm not surprised. I should have known that. But I was like, oh, sad face. So I went on the Color and Cotton Facebook group, which I'm also a member of, and I did a in search of post. And I was like, does anybody have this floss? I will buy it from you. And I had a wonderful person reach out and say, I have this, I'll send it to you. Didn't even want money for it. She just was so kind to send it to me. So thank you, Teresa, for sending it to me. Came in the mail, and I started this project the same day. I did send Teresa a chart back to her just to say thank you, and a card to say thank you. I had a bunch of charts that I wasn't going to stitch or that were duplicates, and so I was happy to give her something. She was so kind. But I started my spring Quaker using Color and Cotton confetti, and I am in love. I love it. It's so fun. It's like a bowl of jelly beans. I'm stitching on 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana, and I'm using one thread because I only have one skein of the floss, and I wasn't 100% sure it would last the whole chart. So I did all of this in like one day. I was just like trucking along, loving the color. It made me so happy. And then I even posted it on my Instagram, and then I looked, and what do you know? I stitched that butterfly in the wrong spot. I counted from this heart to start this wing, and it was supposed to be all the way over here. Like, I was deflated, man. Deflated. So what the chart is supposed to look like is that butterfly, and then next to it is like the 2024 year or whatever you want to put. So now I have to decide, do I unpick that whole butterfly and move it over? And I forgot I had a board over here I could be putting this on. I'm not used to having a board, so I was like, holding it up. Whatever. You guys don't mind, right? It's fine. So I have to decide, do I unpick the butterfly and move it over where it's supposed to go? Or do I rearrange the chart a little bit? Because I would have to then move like this motif. So I was thinking like I could move this down, skip the date, move that over, add in some other little, flowery bits. So I'm not sure. If you have opinions, let me know. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to finish the rest of it counting off something that's correct. So like I'm going to come up here and do all of this and save this until last so that I know how much space I have. And that will hopefully determine, is it going to look terrible if I rearrange some things or whatnot. So I'm a little disappointed in myself. I was just stitching along. I was having fun. I was probably distracted by children because that seems to be when I make the most mistakes, is when my kids are extra like loud or whatever, which is all the time. So we shall see. If you have thoughts, let me know. Have you done that? Have you completely rearranged your stitching before because of a mistake? I'm generally a fudger. I don't want to unpick unless it's going to be a big issue, because I don't want to take the time. I don't want to waste the thread. And usually it doesn't matter. No one's going to know. So I think I can fudge it, but I'm going to have to see. So I'm not against unpicking it, especially since it's one strand. I think it would be easy to save that thread, but I'm also kind of nervous because I don't want to shred the thread and waste it. So we shall see on that. Okay. So those are my finishes. My starts, I do have one more new start, and actually I started this last night. I had actually ironed everything, and then because I didn't want to put the things I ironed back into hoops, I just started something new. So I did start last night Bobbin from Stacey Nash's Animal Cracker series, the little mouse. Oh, she's so cute. I love her. So I am right here. It is still in the hoop because, again, I'm actively working on it. So I've got kind of the outline of her tail and the start of her body. And she's tiny. She's like 51 by 52. So I'll probably finish her maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. And then I will attempt to make it into the stand-up animal cracker. We'll see how that goes. But super cute. And I'm stitching on... I wrote it down. Did I write it down? Probably not. It's 36 count linen. I don't think I wrote it down yet, but it was, hold on. I have the sticker. Aha. Flax. 36 count flax Edinburgh linen. I just picked what, if you've ever ordered from 123 Stitch, where they give you the suggested cloth. I just picked what they put there because I was like, okay, they know better than I do. So I picked that, and then I am using the called for threads, which are primarily, I believe, Weeks Dye Works. I think my baby just woke up. Hold on. Okay. My baby woke up, so my husband had to grab her for me. She did get two little teeth. Her two little bottom teeth have poked through. If you followed my last video, we were struggling with teething. It's a little better now. They are not quite out, but they've poked through, so that is good. But she doesn't nap, really. She's on a medication for, she has hemangiomas on her face, which are basically like the little strawberries. So she has one on her face she takes medication for, and that medication disrupts sleep. So she's not a good napper. 30 minutes is usually like the max of her nap. So, but he's home, so he grabbed her for me, so that was great. Okay, so anyways, I'm working on Bobbin. She's super cute. I am going to start Maggie May, the bunny rabbit, as well. And hopefully we'll have those done by Easter. If you are following Nashville Needlework Market, that's happening the last day is today. There are new animal crackers coming out. I did pre-order Lily the frog, which is super cute. So hopefully I'll stitch her up at some point in the future. But that's exciting. So I really enjoyed stitching on Bobbin last night, though. She's fun. And that is maybe the most stitching I've ever done on 36 count. And it wasn't too bad, especially with one strand of thread. I totally understand why people are like, I only like stitching with one strand. It just makes your stitches look nicer, and it's easier and less knots, and so totally nice to do. Okay. Okay. Whips. The first one is still in its Q-snap. I am not going to take it out, but it's my long dog sampler. I know a lot of people were excited to kind of see this progress. I did actually make a little bit of progress on it. So this is the Fisher King. Again, this will take me years. Let me get it to focus. I am a bottom left starter. So I started in the bottom left. I'm stitching on 32 count smoky white linen, and I am stitching on a Silks For You kind of green teal-y color of silk, and I will list the number below. Let me see. If I can find it real quick, I will tell you, because they don't name them, they number them. I have it written down somewhere, but in my little book. I will just put it below for you. Again, I completely stole this whole idea from Steph at Lindy Stitches. So this is her choices, but let me see if I can put the board behind it. So here's where I am So and it looks all uneven just because it's not straight in the Q-snap, but I am in the bottom left corner of the chart. So I have these two little deer and then the start of what's going to be like a tree. And the variegation is really pretty. It's not necessarily showing as well in the camera. I did totally stitch this deer wrong and I had to pick that out and move it because I'm silly, but that's okay. So this has been enjoyable. I am liking it. It is going to be slow going. I started stitching the borders so that I would have a point to start the actual, motifs of the chart. There are like three borders. There's a 3-stitch border that goes all the way around, a 1-stitch border that goes all the way around, and then another 1-stitch border that goes all the way around. I may consider not stitching all the borders. So I've left those there, and I'm definitely going to do the 3-strand one, the thicker one right here. I may just leave it there and not do the rest. Because I don't know if it's necessarily needed to do the 3 borders, or maybe I'll just do 2. But that's a lot of stitching for just a single stitch of border. So I may not do all of that. I just wanted a starting off place so I could start into the motifs. And so that's why I'm not worried about continuing the border or finishing all the border where I'm at, because I may not do it. So we'll see. I'm probably definitely not going to do all 3. I might do one, probably the other one, like 3-strand border and then the one outside of that. But we'll see. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know. I'm all over the place. As always, I'm always all over the place. Okay, I have 2 more whips to show. My next is the blue flower in praise of pollinators. And let me hold it up. I have not stitched the edges of this fabric yet, so it is fraying. I've just been lazy. I need to zigzag it, or I did get a serger. I got a serger from a friend I went to high school with back in Kansas, years ago. I bought it from her. She posted it, and I bought it from her. And then at Christmas time, or January, I think, my mother-in-law brought it to me in Texas. But I don't know how to use my serger yet. So as soon as I learn, I can start serging my edges. But anyways, I do have strands, so I'm sorry. So essentially what I have done, I think last time I maybe had done the butterfly outline, and then, let me get a clippy. Try to be a better floss tuber. It's a learning thing to do this. So kudos to people that make it look super easy. So I filled in the butterfly. I have mentioned before that for me, this is pretty thick cloth. So the 2 strands, I'm kind of struggling to get them through. So for the inside of the butterfly, I just stitched that with 1 strand just to make it easier on myself. And it may not be as vibrant, but it covers just fine. So I was happy with that. And then I brought my little green, I don't know if it's supposed to be, I think it's a cactus. Yeah. My green cactus up. I did this little critter. I'm not sure what it is. I need to look at the descriptions. The little bee. And then I started this. I think it's like a sweet bee up here. So it's been a few weeks since I worked on this. I worked on this maybe the first week after my last Flosstube, and then I put it down to do other things. But I do love it, and I am excited to continue on with that one. And then I bought all the charts from Blue Flower that are coming out soon. So I don't even want to tell you how much I bought it for Nashville pre-orders because it's embarrassing. Okay, my last whip here is my Barbara Anna Designs She Mad Hatter's Dream. I don't have a photo of the chart, so I will insert a picture. I didn't get a ton done on her, but I brought her hat up, the top hat. Oh, she's just gorgeous. I love this. I did hit a wall with her. I think again it was just getting kind of frustrated with the thickness of 2 strands on the fabric. But I think it looks really good. I do have a small mistake, like one of these stitches down here should have been also yellow, like almost like her earring drop. But I couldn't unpick it at that point. So, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me to have mistakes. As long as it doesn't affect, the overall design. And I don't think it does. So, super excited. I need to finish her hat. And then I'll put a picture of the chart again, but the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland is on top of the hat, so I'm excited to stitch that. So yeah, very, very excited. Okay, so those are my whips. I'm trying to make this video shorter, but again, I wanted to explain all the zoom stitching stuff and then whips and things. So quickly, I will talk haul real quick. I just wanted to share really quickly what I've recently got. I made a third and final trip to Joann's to see what they had left. And I did get another big old basket of thread. My Joann's, that's about 45 minutes from me, was at this point finally pretty picked over. But I basically I went 3 times over the last few weeks or month or whatnot, 6 weeks, to try and round out my DMZ collection. And I'm pretty darn close to a full one. I mean, not like, a couple skeins away, but because of these Joann trips, I have gotten a lot of thread. So really I should be able to just pull from stash for DMC needs for a long while. Or at least be able to see what I need. So I need to put all this away, but I will do that. I also got the called for threads for one of the Nashville charts that I bought that I am planning on starting. And I'm going to look up what it's called. Okay, so one of the charts I got or pre-ordered from the Nashville Needlework Market releases was Hazel's Blackberry Burrow by Blueberry Ridge Cross Stitch. A lot of berries in there. And it looks like, I can try to show, a super cute mouse with her little teapot house gathering her berries. I just had to have it. So cute. That's probably going to be my first start from Nashville. So I did buy the threads. And I got those from 123 Stitch. You could just add to cart. That's a dangerous tool that they have, but it's excellent. So I'm super excited to start that when my orders come in. I might do like a Cozy Critter stitch along. So let me know if you're interested in stitching along some sort of critter chart. I also got yesterday in the mail my Classic Colorworks Flosstube. I haven't even opened it. I probably should have opened it before I showed it. So I'm in their thread club that goes alphabetically. So we are in the M's. So super pretty to just add to the ever-growing thread stash. At Joann's, I saw this on Kitty Stitch YouTube channel. She was talking about, I think it was her, talking about the Joann's thing, and she got the little tin because it's like kind of like a souvenir. I got 2 of them. They're gift card tins. But I got 2 of them because I thought they would be great boxes for notions. And like I put a little needle in there for now. So I thought those were cute and fun, and again, kind of like a by Joann's thing. The other thing I got, I put it over here. Hold on. Roll over. I forgot I moved it because I was running out of space on my desk. I'm just going to say I've never met a craft I didn't want to try. I have a problem. I bought a scroll saw so I could make my own woodworking things and like finishing boards and stuff. I have a problem with crafting. But I really want to learn to crochet and knit, but I know I can't start another hobby. But I just couldn't help myself. I was like, well, let me dabble. I'm gonna dip my toes in the pool. I won't go full force. I'm someone that goes all in, so it's very dangerous. So I have to stop because I already paper craft and make cards and buy things for that, and I cross stitch and I do lots of other things. So I'm like, I can't be a yarn cross stitcher or crochet or knitter person. I don't have the space or money or time for it. But you guys, the Woobles, these are those little crochet kits. They came out with a Lord of the Rings collection. I love the Lord of the Rings. Me and my friends are obsessed. I've loved the Lord of the Rings since I was about 14 probably. And so I had to buy Gandalf. And then he had to come with his staff. Because, yeah. And then because I needed free shipping, I bought Hedwig from Harry Potter. And I'm going to be honest, I want all of the Lord of the Rings ones. And I want all the Harry Potter ones, even though I don't know if I'll like this. I don't know if they'll look like this because some of people's reviews, they come out looking wonky. But I just wanted to try. And I wanted an easy way to learn. I know that these are pricey for what they are, and you can buy supplies and learn other ways, but I like the idea of everything pretty much is in here except for scissors, and there's videos to teach you. So that was appealing to me. So somewhere in the near future, I will hopefully have a Gandalf. If you watch Lord of the Rings, they also have the Balrog. So if I like this and I feel like I can do it, I'm probably going to get the Balrog so that I can have Gandalf facing the Balrog and we can reenact, a pivotal scene in the movie. I love the books and the movies, so putting that out. Anyways, that was most of my haul. I'm goofy today. I'm tired. I'm running on a little sleep. But anyways, so those are my stitchy updates, my whips, all the things. I am going to do a few new starts soon, and I'm getting excited for Easter. I've been doing some Easter crafting. I did do like an Easter craft with my son where we did stitching. I punched some holes in some cardboard carrots and we kind of stitched them through. He was more interested in just playing with the yarn than stitching, but it was still fun. I'm making some little like clothespin carrots from just, wooden clothespins and some other crafting and things like that. So that's been fun. I'm also really going to try and do some of my card making soon because I miss it. It's just hard to do with the kiddos. But I really want to make some cards too. So lots of crafting going on, lots of momming going on, weather coming up. Hopefully we can open our little above ground pool in the next month or so. And I bought stuff to do an outdoor movie projector so we could have some, summer movie nights outside with the pool and, the barbecue grill and things like that. So I'm looking forward to those fun things. And yeah, just keeping on stitching and crafting and all the fun things. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your kindness. I hope you'll maybe join me for one of the Zoom stitches that I'm hosting. Again, I'm going to link all of that stuff below, but feel free to reach out if you have any questions about anything. And yeah, if you want to support me and give me a like and a subscribe, that would be fabulous. If you want to stay up to date with any future news and things that I'm doing. Yeah, and I'm just going to keep on watching my own Flosstube. That's pretty much my go-to stitchy time. I watch Flosstube and true crime. So if you have any true crime docs, let me know because I am running out. I don't know what it is about true crime and Flosstube, but those are my love languages. So anyways, have a good day. Stay stitchy. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you're having bad weather, I hope your weather picks up. If you're, having a bad day, I hope you have a better day, and I hope you can get some stitching done. So thank you so much. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.